Hey guys! Today I thought we would talk all about my current birth plan and then also kind of some things I've been doing to help prepare for birth that I hope help out in the long run. I don't know. I'm doing everything I can to be well prepared mentally and physically for the birth of my son. As of right now, filming this video, I'm 27 weeks. I'll insert some footage of my bump. It did seem like my belly just looked bloated up until probably 2 weeks ago, and then it just popped. It's big now. I'm definitely pregnant. I definitely look pregnant now to a stranger on the street. Getting into like my birth plan and my hopes and dreams for childbirth, I want it to be pain-free. You are probably laughing at me right now, but you know what? I'm just going to state it because that is the way I feel. I hope it's as easy and pain-free and quick as possible. Top of the list, that would be ideal. Realistically, I really want to have a natural childbirth. That is my big goal for baby G, is to have him naturally. I'm not one of those people who would feel comfortable going through that at home. I will be at a hospital for my birth. Just in case anything goes wrong, I want to be somewhere where people can very, very quickly handle any complications. For me, that makes it a lot less stressful to know that I'm at the hospital where those things can be dealt with if they happen. Although, of course, I hope they don't happen, but I would just stress if I wasn't at the hospital and I didn't have doctors and nurses all around me. Oh, and I also really quick want to say, I have nothing against medications. If that's how you choose to have your kid, that's great. I think ultimately the most important thing is that we bring the child into the world however it needs to happen in the most healthy state as possible. If you want to have a medicated birth, that is great. That's just not something I personally am comfortable with, just because I am terrified of needles. And I'm extremely, extremely uncomfortable with the thought of not being able to move around if I got an epidural. So through my labor, I do want to be able to move around. I want to be able to turn on my side if I want to and not have to be flipped by somebody else. I want to be able to feel my legs and move my legs. So yeah, that's my reasoning for not getting an epidural. I also would like to not be induced if possible. If my doctor recommends something to me or there's a complication or something like that, I will take what my doctor says and roll with it. Like, I'm open. I'm going to do everything I can to keep it as natural as possible, but if that doesn't go to plan, my ultimate main #1 goal is to bring this child into the world as safely as I can. Studies do say that natural births to a faster recovery rate, and I want to be able to recover and enjoy my new baby as soon as possible. So yeah, those are my reasons for wanting a natural birth. But that's just me. Like I said, I have nothing against medications or anything. That's just how I'm going into it. I trust my body and the fact that it's going to do what it needs to do, and women have had natural births since the beginning of time. Yeah, that's what I'm aiming for. I trust my body at the end of the day. As for like labor, my big goal is to manage at home as long as I can. If it becomes unbearable at some point, well, when it becomes unbearable at some point, that's when I'll go to the doctor. I live really near to my hospital. It's between a 10 to 15 minute drive, so I'm not worried about being so far along that like the baby would come while I'm in the car or anything like that. Kind of what I'm wanting, to be able to stay home through early labor as long as possible. And then that way I can like still eat, because I know that once you go to the hospital, they don't want you to eat, right? And I want to be able to have as much energy as possible to push that little sucker out. Little sucker in the nicest way. But then once we do end up at the hospital, really the only people I want in the room are Ryan, my 2 sisters, Morgan and Ellie, if they want to. I think Morgan definitely plans to be there. I'm not sure what Ellie's plans are, but I'm assuming she'll be there as well. And then of course the doctors and stuff. But I don't want an excess amount of family in the room, even in early labor, during the birth, or anything like that. Now this is the part where people are probably going to pass a little bit of judgment. I don't really want anybody to visit us in the hospital as of right now. When I go into labor and we tell everybody that it's happening, when we send out the message that it's happening, I'll kind of decide then and there how I feel. But as of right now, I don't really want anybody there. I want Ryan and my 2 sisters. They can stay there through the whole time while I'm through labor and childbirth. But even after we have the baby and we're still in the hospital, I don't know if I'll want people coming in to visit. I know that seems really selfish, but I'm a loner, really. Like, I want people to be able to meet the baby, but I kind of want to be able to take those first few days in the hospital to really recover from it. I don't want to feel overwhelmed by people coming in and out to meet the baby. So yeah, that's just my personality type. I don't know. Again, like I said, that's something we will decide once I'm in labor, or once the baby's born, we can decide if we want people to visit or not. As of right now, I'm leaning toward I don't really want anybody visiting us at the hospital. If we do end up having people visit us at the hospital, of course, 100%, everybody has to have their flu shot. Nobody can touch my baby that doesn't have their flu shot. Just throwing that out there. Ryan does have somewhat of a say as well as to people visiting, but at the end of the day, I feel I get the stronger, I really feel like I get the stronger say because I'll be the one recovering from childbirth. So he might feel great and want people to come visit, but I don't know how I'm going to feel. So yeah, that's why I'm having the say on this one. If we don't end up having people visit us in the hospital, I think what we'll do is we'll end up having, I think it's called a meet and drink, where people can come to our house and meet the baby once we're recovered and, you know, have gotten over it. But I really would like to take that first little while once our baby's there, just for it to be Ryan and I and our kid. So I haven't really vocalized that. I've told Ryan that and Morgan and Ellie that, my sisters, but I haven't really told anybody else that. So I don't know how they would feel, especially the grandparents. Those are the ones I'm the most worried about. But as of right now, that's my plan. Ryan and I do 100% plan to vaccinate our baby and do all of that as soon as physically possible. So that's a big part of our plan that will not change. Of course, unless he's unable to be vaccinated for whatever reason. But if he is able to have vaccinations, then we plan to do that. Mentally, I'm going into this with the mindset of it is going to be the most painful thing I experience. But at the same time, I need to remember that it's something that's going to end. Yes, it's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy by any means. Every contraction and childbirth itself will come to an end at some point. I need to utilize the time that I'm not in pain to relax and to breathe and regain my composure, prepare myself mentally for the next one to hit. And I know that the further along labor progresses, the harder that will be to recover between contractions, but that's my big thing. I'm going to focus on my breathing and staying calm. So I'm not the kind of person, I don't want my delivery room to be like loud. I don't want people yelling at me. I just want people to stay calm, tell me what I need to be doing. My doctor can say whatever he wants to say, tell me whatever I need to do. I'm going to do it. I want clear instructions on what I'm supposed to do. Morgan and Ryan and Ellie want to pipe in, they can, but I'm definitely going to tell them to keep calm composure during labor. I don't want anybody freaking out. I want everybody to stay as calm as possible to hopefully help keep me as calm as possible as well. I do plan to vlog my entire labor as long as I can, and then Morgan is going to take the reins and be in charge of getting footage for the rest of the video. I haven't decided if that's something I'm definitely going to post on YouTube or just keep for myself. I mean, I can definitely post that if that'd be something you're interested in. As for preparing to the best of my ability for a natural birth, I'm not going to be taking any classes. I have been watching Hypnobirthing. Like I said, I'm 27 weeks now. I started watching Hypnobirthing a few weeks ago, and that's been really helpful. And I think that if I continue listening to that, then it will make such a big difference come labor, especially if I'm able to listen to that during labor and kind of take myself to the time I've been preparing and really looking forward to the birth, which I am. I'm really, really looking forward to the birth of my child. Even though I know it's probably going to be the hardest thing I go through, I am really excited for it. A part of me is a little bit scared, but it's a healthy scared. It's like an adrenaline scared, like the nervousness you feel before you go out and play on a sports game, like that kind of adrenaline. I've heard a lot of people compare childbirth to running a marathon, where it's so painful, but you can push yourself through it. It's all about your breathing and your mental state, which we'll see about that. But I run, and running sucks and it hurts my body sometimes, but I love it at the same time. So I don't know, hopefully it's like running a marathon. Hopefully it's that same kind of a thing. Please be like running a marathon. I can do that. I can handle that. And I definitely plan after childbirth to watch this video back and react to myself. Obviously, as of right now, I'm about 12, 13 weeks away from childbirth if the kid is born on my due date. So however many weeks from now, I do plan to react to this video. Hopefully I don't sound like a lunatic or unrealistic human, but I think that'll be fun. Anyway, I have been working out at the gym, so I don't go as consistently as I would like to. I'd like to be able to go 5 times a week. Lately, it's been 3 or 4 times a week just because, I don't know, my body just needs more of a break between my workouts. So I have been eating mostly healthy. It was Halloween a little bit ago, so the week of Halloween was really rough, and then a few days after Halloween was really rough because there was so much candy. That's all I wanted to eat, but I'm back on track, eating a lot healthier. I drink a lot of fluids. I eat a very balanced diet with a whole variety of foods. I do cardio, I still weight lift. I try to stay as active in my daily life as possible. Really, my lifestyle hasn't changed too much from before I was pregnant. I'm pretty much doing the same things, maybe less of it, like weightlifting. I lift less weights. I stretch really well. That really is how I've been preparing. I do think about childbirth a lot, especially at night as I'm falling asleep. Honestly, I've just been trying to prepare myself mentally as well as possible, more than anything, and then also physically on top of that. Yeah, so hopefully I'm giving my body the best chance it can to have that natural birth, and then my mind, even though it'll be painful, will be able to push me through that natural birth. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I am so open. If my doctor recommends I do something that's not part of a natural labor or birth, I will do it. I trust my doctor. So that's that. I'm open to it. My ultimate goal is to bring a healthy child into this world, and however that has to happen is how it has to happen. So I'm not completely married to the idea of the natural childbirth. If plans change, which I'm assuming some of my plans are going to change, that's just the way life goes, I'm not so distraught and it doesn't throw me completely off track that I'm not able to focus on the well-being of my child. You know what I mean? So if you had a natural labor, I would love to know what you did to prepare for labor, what you found really helped you get through that labor, anything I should be doing, anything I could be doing, anything I shouldn't be doing, and what really helped you get through your natural labor or childbirth in general, no matter what it was like, whether it was medicated or unmedicated. I think that's it for this video. I hope this was something for you, something to watch. I don't know, listen to me jumbly talk about my thoughts. Just want him to be here already. Time is going so quickly, but then also so slowly, just because I'm like so excited for him to be here. I'm actually sitting in my baby nursery right now, so I like to hang out in this room lately. It's where I spend most of my time. So that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!